It's your lovely Abbie Dagrin, and welcome back to my channel, lovelies. Today I'll be continuing a series on my channel that deals with natal chart analysis, and today I'll be doing one on Gabrielle Union. I'll be speaking on her personality traits as well as her characteristic traits. I'll also be speaking on how a lot of her placements have led to the success she's garnered in her career, so please stay tuned for the rest of my video, lovelies. If you have not yet become a part of the Abbie Dagrin family, then this is your calling to do so. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you know when I upload videos on the daily. Please also make sure you hit that like button because I know you guys will love this video. And last but not least, please make sure you share this video with everyone you know, whether it's your friends, your family members, or your enemies, anyone in general who would really love this content or loves Gabrielle. Now let's get right into the video, lovelies. Gabrielle Union was born on October 29th, 1972, so this qualifies her to be a Scorpio. So by her being a Scorpio, she tends to be someone who is very much intuitive. She is someone who is very profound in regards to her words and very much mysterious because Scorpios tend to have a mystery about them. She's someone who's very subtle, and she needs emotional closeness to have a true connection with someone. She's someone who has learned the nature of intimacy and power, and that's something that they really strive for in a relationship. They are very loyal to their partners and they're very much powerful, and they love a good challenge. That's something that they appreciate and love. So this really explains her in the best way in regards to her personality with her Scorpio sun. Now let's go on to her moon in Leo. She's someone who is very much out there. She has a very great personality. She's someone who loves to entertain her family and friends and can be very wild, funny, and charming. If you do look at her Instagram or you look at her social media accounts, you do see that she's always entertaining the public with her TikToks and her reels. And also she is someone who entertains her family as well, so this really makes sense about who she is. She's also someone who's very funny and very optimistic in her life. She's very creative and very generous. She is someone who has a lot of high energy, and sometimes she can be dramatic, but it's in a fun and cool way. She's someone who's very proud of herself and has an ego that is very big, but it's understandable. She's also someone who is very much giving boss energy. Next up would be her Mercury in Scorpio, and with this placement, she's someone who can really get to the facts really quick. She's someone who is great at looking at stories and knowing if it's a lie or if it's truth because she can look at it on a deeper level. She's also someone who loves to learn and loves to acquire knowledge more than anything. That's something she's really great at and something that she loves to do with this placement. She is a born investigator. She's someone who is fascinated by secrets and mysteries and unanswered questions of any kind. When she becomes angry or upset, her emotional responses are overpowering, and at times it can be interesting. So she tends to have a lot of humor and sarcasm and irony. Up next would be her Venus in Virgo. So this is actually a very interesting placement to have because they are the types of people who are going to sacrifice so much for a relationship. They're going to make sure that their loved ones are perfectly fine, and sometimes they give more in a relationship that is given to them, and they do take their relationships very seriously, and they will do whatever it is necessary to make their partners very happy. They are the types of people who are neat, clean, and tidy, and they would like that from their partners. They are very practical. They're very knowledgeable, very smart. They're the down-to-earth type of people and very helpful. They're willing to work and dedicate themselves to relationships. They're very sensitive, and they may be the loner type, but they are not the type of person who make the first move. But they don't like mind games, and they are not overly romantic, but they're very easy to please. Next up would be her Mars in Libra, and this tends to be a very interesting placement. She's someone who is very ambitious in regards to her goals, and she wants to be friendly too when she's negotiating things or looking at things in a way. In regards to her drive, she tends to be friendly, and she is very charming as well. She's very great at negotiation skills, and she's great at negotiating with other people. She's also someone who's very much diplomatic in regards to what she wants in life. She has a very beautiful sense of beauty. She loves fairness and balance in her life. She's always striving for harmony, and she's very much eloquent. Now, some weaknesses with this Mars could be indecision sometimes, because making a decision can be hard, especially when you're looking at all aspects of things and sacrificing. So this is something that she'll need to work on. Up next would be her Jupiter in Capricorn. And with this placement, she tends to be someone who is very practical in regards to her personality. She's very ambitious, she's very disciplined, and very persevering. So she looks at her career in life very seriously, and she's going to make sure that she accomplishes everything she needs to in order for her to accomplish her goals in life. She's also someone who is going to gain wisdom and experience to add to her tried and true methods. She's someone who's very dedicated in her life, and she likes discretion. She is going to be the types of person that only feels as though she's doing something worthwhile if she sees the results that come with it. And with this, she's able to work as hard as she needs to in order for her to see these results in front of her. So this is a great placement for her. Up next would be her Saturn in Gemini, and this placement, she tends to have the ability to articulate information very well. She's great at solving problems and handling details. She is someone who prefers to stick to facts other than feelings, and she's very stable in her intelligence. She is someone who's great at communicating. Makes sense because it is Gemini, and Gemini, they are ruled by Mercury, which has a lot to do with communication. So this placement makes a lot of sense because she is a great communicator, and she does talk a lot about facts, and she does talk a lot about things that really affect her. And you would think because she has her Scorpio sun, she may use a lot of her emotions, but I think this Saturn in Gemini balances it out because she's able to speak from a logical point of view. Next up would be her Uranus in Libra, and with this placement, she's always constantly coming up with new ideas and look at things in different ways. She's someone who loves to look at things in a different lens than other people do, and this is something that comes with her creative nature. In order for her to be creative, she has this placement and it really works for her. She's also someone who's very free. She loves to have a very free approach. She may be the type of person who is unconventional when it comes to relationships and emotional commitments. And this is something that does describe her relationship a lot. It is very unconventional and very new, but it works for her. So this has a lot to do with it in regards to the Libra placement. Personal freedom is very important to her than entangling her emotional bonds. Up next would be her Neptune in Sagittarius, and this is the sign of philosophers and visionaries and people who are very truthful pursuers in regards to information. That means that they are very positive, creative, upbeat, and sometimes they can be indecisive and vulnerable. This is something that really makes sense for her because she's able to thrive on a variety of exciting, uplifting experiences and learning new things. This does help a lot because Gabrielle Union, she tends to be very open-minded to progressive thoughts, and she tends to be open-minded in regards to different topics because she just has a lot of placements in her chart that really help her bring that out of her. And that's something that really benefits her in a great way because that's one of the ways she uses her platform to shed lights on topics that probably previous generations would not like to talk about. Next up would be her Pluto in Libra, which means she is a part of Generation Y, meaning she was born between 1972 and 1984. So she's the type of person that loves harmony, symmetry, agreement, and pleasantness. That's something that she wants in life, this whole generation. And they are the types of people that love to find a common ground in everything that they do. So in order for her to feel comfortable in this generation, finding a common ground and cooperation is something that they always look to. But the sad thing about it is sometimes peace does not always last because sometimes it doesn't benefit both sides or any side. So that's something that this generation does have a sadness about. And sometimes their indecisiveness can be very saddening. So this is something that explains that generation. Up next would be her North Node in Capricorn, and they tend to be the type of people who take charge of their lives and every aspect of their life. And in order for her to find the unhidden gifts and talents needed, they will need to, anyone with this placement, including Gabrielle, need to have self-control, approaching life from an adult position, self-respect, staying goal-oriented, a sensible approach to problem-solving, keeping commitments and promises, letting go of the past, having a lot of self-care, accepting responsibility for her success, being self-sufficient and thanking others for their willingness to help, using her wisdom to create the life that she knows she can have, identify with the Father within, creating goals for herself and executing them, and committing to her visions. Last but not least would be her Chiron in Aries, and this is actually a very interesting placement. It's very tough because they do tend to have the wound of self. So usually other Chirons usually have the wounds of outside forces, but the Aries one is an internal force. So sometimes they have the wound of being unsure of themselves, and sometimes they feel as though they will always be defeated. They have a negative aspect of themselves. They don't believe in themselves at all, and they love to compare themselves to others, and they can sometimes be self-engrossed because of this. And it's very hard because sometimes they just don't believe. Maybe at a young age, some parent or somebody in their life really made them feel as though they would not be able to accomplish something. However, what they need to realize is that they need to love themselves, accept that they are different, and acknowledge their strengths. Thank you guys so much for watching this video on Gabrielle Union's natal chart. Please let me know down below that you learned more about her as to who she is as a person. Please also make sure you let me know who else you guys would want me to do natal chart analysis on down in the comments section. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell. And also please make sure you hit that like button and share this video with everyone you know. And if you have not yet followed me on all of my social media accounts, please make sure you're doing so, from Pinterest down to TikTok. Also, please make sure you're supporting my PayPal, my podcast, and last but not least, my Etsy store. I love you all. Please stay safe and healthy. Everything will be linked down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, lovelies.